Welcome to another exciting episode of Constantly Calibrating. I am back to host you again this week. My name is Brad. This week we're going to go a little random. We're going to talk a little news, and we're going to let Josh tell us some stories. So if you'll give us a few seconds with some music as usual, we'll be right back. And we're back from music. How you guys doing this week? Brian, reverse order.
I'm doing well. I just got back from doing a entire marathon of all of the Star Wars over the weekend, and it was fantastic and wonderful.
Star Wars.
How did
Star Wars.
And you watched that with your person?
Girlfriend.
His lady friend.
Lady friend. Ooh.
My significant other.
Yes.
And it was fantastic. So we now have another Star Wars fan. She didn't just like watch it for me to appease me, but she actually enjoyed it. So it's good.
What?
I was going to be my next question is did she enjoy it? Because if not, we're gonna have to have a talk.
No, I agree.
I like the running commentary that you were providing for every film you were watching. Coming out of her.
It was great because. Because was it in Attack of the Clones? Like we were watching this, the picnic scene, and she's like,
"Fuck,
they need parental supervision." What's happening? And then was it Jar Jar Binks' 5 times too much? Was my other favorite one, and then Han and Leia's love story is 10,000 times better than Padme and Anakin's, which is very much true.
My comment on that was the difference being competent actors with an actual romantic subplot written by a person who'd actually love the woman versus, the Padme Anakin whatever shit.
Not to mention lots of booze from Harrison Ford's side.
Yes, that probably is true. Well, and lots of cocaine allegedly from here. Actually, not allegedly, she's discussed from here.
Secret of acting, booze and coke.
That's how I get through every show.
So, speaking of booze and coke, what are you up to, Justin?
Man, I'm just playing some stuff. So I figured out Diablo 3 hates me.
Really?
Like, a lot.
Did you die again?
Yes, a lot. Multiple times. So, one was complete BS. Like, my friend's like, yo, I found this cursed chest. Like, okay, I'm gonna hop right in. The moment I hopped in, he killed, like, the last thing and exploded. And I popped right in when he exploded. Instantly died.
Yeah.
That happened. The second time was, like, I think I got back up to level 40, and then I alt-tabbed out, and then I found, like, a horde of a couple new things on me, and that was the end of that.
Oh, boy.
You had a good time.
It does not want me to hit level 70 season. That's why I got out.
The thing is, you can't be aggressive when you're getting power level. You literally have to be patient.
I'm going to be aggressive, Brad. That's what I have to do.
No, that's not how you power level.
Be aggressive.
To power level, you have to be complacent but attentive.
Well, that's why I picked a monk.
Complacent.
So now I am.
Wait, I need to really think that through for a second. Complacent but attentive. Life has passed me by. I must do it.
By the way, side note, fuck Walking Dead.
Yeah,
that's my entire Facebook feed. I don't know why. Don't care.
They killed somebody.
I won't.
Probably.
They did.
Obviously.
Probably.
We don't know actually, but more than likely.
From what I know of the show, the actor was not on Talking Dead afterwards, so that means he is still alive.
Possibly.
They have not broken that tradition at all.
They did not invite a. Wow, his name escaped me. That's horrible. This is what I said.
The Carl guy? Was it Carl? I know Carl's a name.
Carl. No, it's never gonna be Carl. Carl can't die.
Carl.
But no, they purposely didn't have somebody on from the show, the person who died from the show, because everybody wants to believe it didn't happen. Everything points that it did, and people were like, "Oh, well, this thing happened, so possibly survive." It wasn't quite clear what happened. I mean,
my entire Facebook feed was different websites trying to cash in on the discussion, being like, we talked to the producers, and this is what they had to say, and it's just clickbait headlines. And then you click on it, and it says nothing.
Yep.
So allegedly, because
That's pretty much it. But yeah, it's just a big character. May or may not have died, more than likely. It's one that like everybody kind of just like loved.
Oh,
So-
Michonne. Got it.
No comment.
Yeah. So, not Walking Dead, but Walking Dirty. What's up? I don't know. That was a bad one this week. What are you doing,
Wait,
Josh?
Was that you trying to intro Josh?
Yeah. It was a throwback to our off-air conversation.
Okay. Oh yeah, just in the shower for one day. It's not that big a deal. But no, I'm doing all right. Still hyped up on post Back to the Future things. I just discovered I own these. I forgot.
How do you forget you own pop vinyls?
I have a Daniel Bryan one on the floor, Bebop and Rocksteady. I really have no idea what I own.
You've never been to Josh's house, like any of them.
No, when it comes to
crap in
collectibles,
places.
yeah. When it comes to collectibles, I sometimes buy stuff. I sometimes get stuff for gifts. I'm not aware of a lot of things. I mean, Charnel used to hide my Christmas presents on my desk. That's not even a joke. Justin was around.
It's super effective.
Was living when she literally just put, I think, what was it, a game or something like that? Just put it on my desk. Yeah, I didn't see that shit for 3 months. It sat there. I had no idea.
Wow. I don't even know
have
how that.
problems.
I would notice that immediately, unless it was under something. If it was under something, that would be like an amazing place to hide something from me.
Yeah, my desk is a mess right now.
So
Right now.
now.
It was.
Hey, here's that
okay,
Shroud of the Avatar challenge coin from last year's RTX.
Hey.
Oh, lovely. I wonder how that dude's doing. I hope he's okay.
We initially don't know how Wishu's doing. We don't remember that time.
Yeah.
So
It was a
anyway,
great interview.
now that
great-
we've taken a long intro this week, do we have any sponsor messages? I think we do. Maybe, possibly.
We do. So first one is Green Man Gaming. So we partnered with Green Man Gaming to help you with all of your PC gaming needs. They offer plenty of options for all PC gamers, regardless of publisher, platform, whether platform, whether Steam, Origin, Uplay, or Good Old Games, or GOG. Make sure to use our promo code featured on our Twitch channel and at the top of constantlycalibrating.com to save 20% on all orders. And right now, there's a Halloween sale going on. You get 22% off by entering Face Your Fear. Okay, sorry. So this is going to be really, really stupid. So Face Yo, then dash Your, U-R, and then Fear.
You just spell it. Okay, with the promo code Face Your Fear, FACEYOURFEARS22PER.
It's too long.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. But we love them. They're great. We've gotten a lot of games from them, and we enjoy their partnership. So thank you, Green Man Gaming. And then, of course, our sponsor of the week,
What the fuck did I
Which-
just write into the chat?
which could be you, is Nebot. He is our Patreon sponsor of the week. If you would like to sponsor us, the way that we look at it is this way. If you think that what we're doing here is valuable to you, you can pay as much as just $1. If you think we're worth at least $1, then pledge that every single month. That helps us with a bunch. It helps us cover costs for the site, for the podcast, and it helps us be able to do more of what you guys enjoy from us. So
we
if
can
that is
grow.
yes. And so if you are interested in that, if you would like to do that, you can go to patreon.com/constantly calibrating.
$1 gets you the podcast on Wednesdays in audio form. $5 gets you the video podcast on Wednesdays. 2 whole days early.
Yep. All right. You okay there, Brad?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just playing my Taco Bell Verde sauce. It's so good. So, got mostly news this week and a little bit of life commentary, as we'll put it,
Life.
from Josh. So
Growers, not showers. What? Go ahead, Brad.
good.
That's what she.
And this is already off to a great start.
Well, we did title this randomness, so there's no telling what's going on tonight. So this week, or actually Friday, I picked up another game.
You picked up another game.
I did. I picked up
another game.
Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Ooh, how's Ass Creed Syndicate?
It's
Sin.
it's Sindelicious.
Delicious. Yeah, I think I talked on the podcast. I really liked what I played of it when I played it at GameStop Expo. So the reviews for it have been kind of stellar.
Yeah, it is wonderful. I have not had this much fun in an Assassin's game since the Ezio trilogy.
So why is it fun? Like, why is it fun for the first time since was it?
No, it wasn't fun. Not fun in the others, but this one is back to where they were with that.
Well, I mean, like, why is this one fun compared, like, to where we've been? Like, how did we get back to that degree of funitude?
It's a true free roaming connected city again, which I think, while it can get boring, it's important to come back to that. And I know that Unity had that as well, but after hearing everything about Unity, I didn't want to touch it. And I don't know about Rogue, so.
Or Black Flag.
No, I played Black Flag, but it didn't have the connected city element. It was like.
Well, Black Flag was a
Black
massive
Flag.
world, and Rogue was the same exact as Black Flag.
It's got everything that I've liked over the course of the series in some form or fashion. It's got weapons that you can collect and upgrade, gear you can collect and upgrade. You have a gang again properly, not just like, hey, come over here. You actually have a gang.
So essentially, it's the expansion of Brotherhood.
Yeah, you don't send them out on missions. You do still like the, hey, come over here, but they'll follow you around. They're everywhere around the city. But you invest into how that gang works instead of sending one person out and leveling them up. You spend money and resources to make your gang more effective. So you pay like 5,000 gold and some resources, and your gang members are now level 5 across the city, period.
So is there like a Daniel Day-Lewis unlock you can get for that?
There should be. There's not.
And there's
Gangs of New York reference.
wow,
Appropriate actually for this.
it kind of is, kinda.
Because you do get like after you you get territories, you do missions in the territories to kind of like free that zone of their control, and then after you clear a section, you get into a gang fight, which very Gangs of New York-ish actually.
I don't want to spoil what the hideout is if you don't know it, but is the best hideout we have ever had.
I'll agree with that.
Hands
it's
down.
Pretty awesome, and I like a game with a good hideout. I'm going to admit that. Like that, and cake mechanics. You get that, you got my money. But going on
Is that why you bought Destiny the first time?
cake mechanics. Yes.
Actually, I think seriously, I have a vague memory of Justin seriously citing that as one of his reasons for.
Destiny does have good cake mechanics.
They do.
It does.
Will agree with you on that.
I think of it, Josh. I played King's Quest on Josh's account, Steam account. It's nice to turn that around for once. But anyways, I was like, cake mechanics are on point. I love this game.
No, that was the first thing Justin. He played it before I did. And that was the first thing he said to me. And if you watch the footage I recorded of King's Quest originally, it was me spinning in circles for 5.5 minutes, just going wee wee wee. Well, I mean, look at Justin's Cape Mechanics love. You could look at his Batman Origin, 2 different complete calibrations he did. At least in one of them, he's just a fog demonstration and a cape demonstration.
Oh yeah, there's snow too.
So
Just let you know.
Sexy.
The other thing is these characters speak to me more than anyone else has since Ezio. They're very likable, they're very alive, and it could be how much more closer to that uncanny valley we've gotten. These are some of the best character models and voice sync-ups I've seen in a game, period.
I mean, that's definitely interesting.
Well, Unity did okay with that when they had faces.
Yeah.
When they weren't faceless women.
Because it's the same engine. It's definitely showed that Unity was a building block, even though it was a building block that shouldn't have been released. But it's definitely show what they have in mind for it. And like Brad said, it's a true return to form. It does feel more like the Ezio series of Assassin's Creed games as far as how it feels, more verticality. You can stay on top of the rooftops if you really want to.
Yes.
And moving around the city is awesome. I mean, we already seen the grappling hook.
Yeah.
That's no.
Takes some getting used to.
It does take some good shoes. Zips you across kind of like a zip line thing, kind of just like jerk your way across pretty much.
I love jerking my way across places.
Well, you can go. It's not just a straight or down. You can literally go up with the zip line too.
Yeah, so like if you don't want to climb all the way top the building, you just zip line. You're up there. Next thing is really cool. I don't think it's mentioned enough is all the vehicle. Well, I say vehicles. The horse carriages. The ways to get around the world. There's active horse carriages that you can interact with every single one. And by that I mean like you can hop on right on them like that. You can go carriage to carriage. And what's really cool about that, there is the carriage chase scenes, but like people can actually hop on yours, pull you up. You end up like from driving, go into a fight in one, start knocking people off, go back to driving, and there's really cool moments like that. But with that, there's trains that are actively moving that you can hop on. Again, fight people on that. Use that travel around, and then there is the river, the canal, which is pretty much this generation's Frogger. If you see it, right? Have you tried crossing it yet?
I have not tried crossing it yet. There was a mission I had to do where I had to chase a boat.
Gotcha. So
I don't know how far you are. So
normally, about section 4, I forget what they call it.
Yeah,
4.
we're about the same spot.
But like literally, it's Frogger. Like the boats are actively moving. You have to kind of like see your path and hop across to get to the other side of the river. If you don't want to be lame, use the bridge. It's really neat. It's really cool. Active. I love it. Feels just a different way, unique way to travel. Like I never been on that. Like the world just moves around so much. The same thing with like, do you have cranes? Like you see this, like I'm gonna get up there, and then the crane starts moving. Stuff like that's happening. So actively moving. I guess not terrain's the word I'm looking for, but geometry to climb on.
Cranes.
The basic non-story quests are really interactive too, or I won't say interactive, but intriguing too. Like they've always had really good historical figures. This may be the best set they've had.
It depends. I think that is entirely subjective and depends on how much knowledge you have.
Yeah, like I don't know a lot about Penny Dreadful. I'm very interested in watching it and possibly reading some, but like the Penny Dreadful mystery, I've only done one of them. It was really cool, and I'm like, why have they not done a mystery to figure out before in this game? It works very well. Because
someone finally played Batman, one of the Arkham games.
It's funny you say that. Like, I think they directly ripped off his corner.
But it doesn't feel like a ripoff either.
Oh, because he shoves a knife in his neck before he puts him down. So just flipping him around the corner.
And remember, he's played enough, so he knows. He knows the difference. But so from hearing from both of you, I'd actually be interested in getting this game because I was very much turned off to trying to jump back in after the Unity mishap. But
really,
this, like,
so good.
I want Syndicate so badly. I'm honestly not a joke considering. Well, I have two options. If I can sell my Pip-Boy editions, I have better luck with this. But I'm either gonna.
Plural.
Yes, two. I'm either gonna cancel Fallout altogether and get Assassin's Creed Syndicate, or I'm gonna. That's what I'm seriously considering is writing off Fallout because I don't actually want to play it all that much anymore. I'm almost over it.
See, I think it's gonna change.
I know how I work.
Unless
I don't have time to play Syndicate anyways, or I'm gonna convince Charnel to give it to me at Christmas and use money from selling the Pip-Boy editions.
Just knowing how vast Fallout can be. Unless you plan to 100% Assassin's Creed, I might still get Fallout.
Well, remember, amount of time in a game doesn't matter. I actually prefer a game that I can spend 12 hours or less in.
One thing I gotta say, though, about Assassin's Creed, I'm really curious how the PC version is going to turn out. Because I am seeing some stuff happen in the PS4 version. Like, I've seen some texture load, like, in-game, like 3 feet from me. And some weird things happening with the city, so I'm hoping they fix this in the PC version and use the PC to its full advantage and it's actually optimized, unlike Unity and a bunch of the other Ubisoft games that came out last year.
It's just the machine.
You're just the machine.
You're in the memory machine, so it's just the machine screwing up. It's a glitch.
Look, every time I've reviewed an Assassin's Creed game, I've written it off as that, like jokingly for so long.
It's just a glitch in Animus. It's fine.
The Animus screwing up. I had
Ubisoft used to use that as their joke, like response. Why a game would have a lot of glitches? They'd be like, "Oh, it's just a glitch in the Animus." We're talking about Watch Dogs, though. Just a glitch in the Animus.
Just a glitch in Animus. You know, it's their same games, anyways. That's the presentation line.
It's just another game in the that Ubisoft universe, because maybe it's by the same game company from Black Flag.
Well, actually, Abstergo does exist in the Watch Dogs universe.
They do. There's Abstergo
They are-
employees walking around when you scan them, and it's all kinds of fun.
There's an
Like,
Abstergo building. Well, not in the actual game release, but there was an Abstergo building in the demo. One of the demos showed at E3 for the game that Watch Dogs actually was.
Hey, it sounds like another game, but we've already done that so many times.
So,
Yeah. I want to
honestly
move
think
on.
Watch Dog is just going to become their like, hey, this is the modern day Assassin's Creed. Like, it is the modern day Assassin's
No,
Creed.
they're going to eventually turn it into that.
They-
They'd be smart to.
they really should, because yeah.
They really need to just tie them in as the same franchise and just get it over with, because it would reinvigorate people on Watch Dogs, I feel like, particularly now that Assassin's Creed's back on the high ramp. I want to talk more Assassin's Creed, but I want to talk it in a Let Us Show You.
Uh-huh.
We should move on to we got hype for Halo.
Yep.
I'm so excited.
Well,
My download's finished.
3/4 of the
My
people
game's
here
back
have
there.
it. Yeah, Brad's got his lovely little collector's edition back there.
Funny thing, like the little model that comes with it, the little tiny one, I thought it was like papercraft or cardboard. No, that shit's metal.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah, like you could cut yourself putting this thing together. It's like very, very thin metal.
So good for children.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect for children.
Chew on it, let them throw it at their
I'm-
other siblings.
I am slightly worried because the early headlines are not being nice to the storyline, but I'm not clicking on anything.
Supposedly it is a masterful game. Like, the gameplay is the best in the Halo series. It's phenomenal. The story is supposedly a major letdown. That is the gist of what I've heard.
Is it a
Pretty
letdown
much what I
because
heard about
it's
Assassin's Creed as well.
bad, or
Like,
is
just
it
back to Halo.
a letdown because it's just not what people wanted?
Supposedly the story in Halo 5, they'll like be heading towards major, like, oh my god, I know where this is going, it's awesome, and then it doesn't happen. Like, supposedly that happens 3 or 4 times in the game where you know something awesome's about to happen and it just doesn't. And it's not like this will happen in Halo 6 or kind of like maybe it'll happen. It's like the plot thread gets forgotten, apparently, kind of stuff. Like, it's just like that's what someone from Polygon said, and I believe someone from Kotaku said. That's just I'm just gleaming off of a Twitter conversation I read earlier.
I'm holding out because I know that when a lot of the major places have their reviews, I actually often disagree with them, and so it's,
Pretty regularly, yeah.
yeah, and so I don't
Well,
know.
not just that, Halo 4 supposedly had an awful story that was completely utter
False.
garbage. And
Yes, it
while
was.
it wasn't the best in the Halo series, I thought it was a very good personal story.
Yeah, as long as it's at least on par with that, and we figure out what the hell happened to Cortana.
Oh, she
Halo
dead.
4 only just
She
said,
works for
like,
Microsoft now.
pretty much. She's embedded in all your phones.
She traveled through
Exactly.
time,
She traveled through time and became a phone thing. You know
and
what?
before Cortana is a Time Lord.
I would not put that past 343 to actually
That's what happened to Cortana.
make that canon.
Where's Cortana? Ask your phone. Ask Kristen. There's where she is.
I wonder if
But
you
not,
get,
like-
that's actually no. That's something they should totally do with Cortana on Windows phones. You know, is have it that you can ask Cortana starting tomorrow. Hey, what happens to you in the Halo series? And she responds, "Go buy the game, bitch." And immediately just charges your Windows account or whatever and installs the game on your
Wow.
Xbox.
That would be something.
I
So,
would enjoy that
I mean,
feature.
They're like,
The
you
8
asked
people
for
who
it.
have Windows phones.
I'm excited to dig into it. I hated the beta, but everything I saw after the beta, I've been excited about.
I absolutely loved the gigantic war battle thing that I played at GameStop Expo. It almost sold me on getting the game because I just absolutely loved playing it. I had a phenomenal time. But
Looking forward to trying that since I haven't yet. I'm just story-wise, I'm hoping they don't focus on Prometheans too much because I was trying to say earlier what Halo 4
Yeah.
said to me is 343 played too much Metroid Prime. Like
So-
Yeah.
the Prometheans look like characters from Metroid Prime. The weapons they use look like Metroid Prime. The HUD looks like Metroid Prime.
you
All
look
that
like
said-
Metro Prime.
Do look like Metroid.
I just realized something.
Hi.
Like the initial Halo 5 reveal trailer, where he's walking through the desert, and the big Promethean just comes up out of the sand. We've seen like nothing related to that at all since then.
That's just
I bet you that's gone.
at all.
If that's in the game, I will be shocked. And where's his cloak? He was wearing a cloak.
Well, he's not now. He's being chased by Locke. That's the story.
Yeah,
Enjoy Nathan Fillion.
I wonder. I do enjoy Nathan Fillion.
Oh,
He's fun in Destiny. Which, you know, I'm gonna sidetrack. Destiny got a real MMO holiday event.
That's what I'm hearing. Is like everyone's saying it like this is the second coming of the WoW Halloween like event, like with like quality wise.
Tell me about it, because last year's Halloween event was just hey, you got a jack-o'-lantern you can put on your head, enjoy.
Okay, so you log in to the tower. There's sparkles in the air. There's a different soundtrack. There's wolves howling. There's women screaming like from a slasher film in the background. Like the regular music's still there, but they have an undertone soundtrack too. There's these purple lit candles all over the place. There's strings of like engrams lit up like the Asian lights, but really closer together.
Okay.
And so you go to your mailbox and you get a one-time package, and it gives you a couple of supplies, and I can't remember what else you get. But the whole point of it is masks. So you go over to the shaders and emblems lady, and she gives you a candy bucket. And you go talk to like 7 people on the tower, and they give you candy. You take it back to her, and she gives you a package, and you can open it for a mask. And then you get 3 quests to go do these things while wearing specific masks. Now, the kicker is the masks have no light level at all. So you're gimping yourself doing these activities, and they're in-game current stuff. The only one that you could just do outright is one of them is to jump off the side of the tower wearing a specific mask. So it's kind of like WoW in that respect. And the other cool thing is there's something you can do to make the masks permanent. I think it's glue. You apply glue. But no, there's a ton of masks too. There's like all the in-game bosses. There's the Cryptarch. There's the Speaker, the House of Wolves lady with the pink hair, Petra, that's her name. And you can get an engram for a head. You can get the Traveler for a head. And so it's different and it's cool. They're also selling the Thriller Dance for $7, which I'm like, it's really cool because it's the whole thing almost choreographed, but $7 is steep.
$7 cool.
Yeah, paying money for dancing in a game is just like, what?
But you can do the Carlton.
The Carlton is $5.
I can do the Carlton in real life. Like what?
I have a buddy who has bought.
Dude, Carlton.
I have a buddy who's bought every single one. I added it up for him and told him, "You've paid."
So they were lying. They're like, "You will throw your money at the screen for these emotes."
Well, he in his defense, this is the only game he plays. He has put over 1,000 hours into it. I'm sure.
We've talked about microtransactions before. Microtransactions don't rely on the many; they rely on the few. They're looking just for the whales. So a person who exclusively plays Destiny and is willing to be like, I just want everything. I mean, honestly, with how into Old Republic I am lately, I've considered buying cartel coins because I'm that into the game that I just kind of want a lot of the shit. It's important to me to have these collectible things. I was the same way about Simpsons Tapped Out, and even Charnel's considered frickin' buying gems for this game Shop Heroes we've been playing the shit out of lately. You know, they don't really rely on the masses. They rely on one group of maybe like 100 people or less who are willing to play one game and throw money at it. But
the rumor is behind all this is they're putting these in for the purpose of giving the rest of this year's content to us for free. Because splitting your player base within the year of release is a bad idea.
Yes.
And I think they've realized that. And so I think they're going to move to maybe a 60-40. And like every year, or every 2 years, they'll do a 60 full game. And then every off year, they'll do a 40 expansion. And they'll probably expect you to pay for that. But that's not that different.
Sense.
Also, I heard 2 different things. I heard, that, and I also heard, like, this is it. This is how we're paying for the rest of Destiny 1, and you won't pay for something again until Destiny 2 comes out.
Yeah, well, we know they're working on Destiny 2. And I think the microtransactions are testing the water probably for 2. I think the $7 Thriller Dance is straight up a test to see how much people are actually willing to pay for a dance. So
all you people are buying it are the problem.
Or the solution, because they could be paying for our content.
I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah.
Then again, I said I wasn't going to buy Destiny again, and I did, so let's see what happens.
have you enjoyed it at least? Your
From what
time.
I played so far, yeah, definitely. It's definitely a better game. But best comparison I could be to this, like, it reminds me of Diablo 3 when it came out, which was horrible in vanilla, and then Reaper of Souls hit, and all of a sudden it's a good game to play.
That is a very good parallel, I think, because I was a little more involved in D3 when it first came out, but I put it down pretty quick as well. And Reaper of Souls came back, and every time Reaper does another season, I'm like, boom, I'm there day one if I can be, and I'll not sleep until I cap my new character. So that's a very good parallel. I like it.
I mean, it's what it is. So I mean, it's like any other MMO or something like that. It comes out, it kind of sucks. Like not a lot of stuff there, and then they just do updates, and get to a point where it is a good game, and there's actually stuff to do in game, and wants to keep you playing and compel you to keep coming back. So they definitely pulled it off.
So, YouTube has announced a new streaming subscription program called YouTube Red. I have not honestly looked into the details of this too deep because I'm not a fan of YouTube. Of Twitch and YouTube, I'm gonna tend personally to go towards Twitch because I prefer live stuff. But YouTube's just like what I click in my feed, and oh look, there's a cat, and it's saying stupid shit. But
I don't look
exactly.
I don't look super mount into the YouTube politics and things like that, but because of us, growing as a brand ourselves and things like that, I do try to keep an eye on what's up at the market. So YouTube Red is officially what's going to be called. It's their paid subscription service, which we've heard rumor and tell of for 2 years. It's been theoretically on the docket. It'll be $10 a month. It's going to offer original programs created by prominent members of the YouTube community. For instance, Rooster Teeth will be having Laser Team, their Indiegogo massive success film, coming on 2016 to YouTube Red.
Huh.
I don't know if that's if that's their exclusive video on demand location for it. That is not clear in the release I got, or if it's just one of the places. But
I think this will be good if in a few ways. It'll be good for creators that are just on YouTube that are trying to get a hold of the YouTube streaming for gaming and stuff like that, as well as they've already have an established audience. If you're on Twitch, this won't make any much of a difference to you. If you're on Twitch and you're a partner, this doesn't make much of a difference to you. And I think the other people it doesn't make too much of a difference to is if they have like what we do, with Patreon, or they already have those kind of forms set up, then this doesn't affect them all too much. And it still sounds like YouTube's taking a good portion or a bigger portion of money than they probably should, but they get to kind of decide that. So,
well, the details on this, a little bit from this copy, is YouTube Red's launching on October 28th, so the same day this podcast goes out to our Patreon subscribers. $10 a month, you get your first month free. It'll offer enticing new features such as a new YouTube Music app, Google Play Music. You can download and watch videos offline, and no ads. It will, however, not affect anything with normal YouTube. Normal YouTube will run just the same way. It's just a different venue for or avenue, whatever, for some of their creators. There's about 11 or 12 other than Rooster Teeth with Laser Team that have stuff coming to the project. There's, PewDiePie's got something, College Humor, etc., etc. So, I mean, I'm gonna do the free month trial.
I didn't know College Humor was still around. I thought
College Humor, I'll go more to Dorkly, same company.
They're integrated now.
But College Humor for me stopped being relevant when they got bought out by a company that made them PG-13. Because College Humor, I mean, I don't know if you remember in the days.
Oh, I do.
It would have been before you were in college, Brian. It would have been when you were, it was when I was in college. It was when it kind of stopped. I mean, I still remember, there were guys and girls they would feature on the site, both men and women, naked for the Bush debates and things like that, for presidential debates, and it was Bush, no Bush kind of things. And it would just be naked men and women who would appear on the site. College Humor was bordering on a porn site for a while, for many years. That was where I never went to YouTube because College Humor was my source for videos. Right. I watched, people, like things that became major videos of people like falling down the stairs and shit like that. I went to College Humor for that.
Yeah, I think it's when BuzzFeed started winning out as like the place that people were going that college humor.
No, they changed their policies and became a lot more BuzzFeed-esque after BuzzFeed, yes, but they became PG-13 before BuzzFeed was even a thing.
It's like you just woke up one day and college humor was gone.
No, that's essentially what it was.
Yeah.
It was a majorly different site. Like you could watch I think it was like Jake and Amir was one of their main things. You could watch their shtick or their Hardly Working show on whatever day it was. Let's just say a Monday. You could watch that, and then the following Monday it was a completely and utterly different show. Yeah. Not even really similar, and they didn't even make an announcement of why this happened for almost 2 months, from what I remember.
I just missed having the like infinite feed of videos that you could go through because they just decided that was no longer relevant.
Well, because YouTube officially became the source for that, and there was no point in supporting that content anymore, which is understandable for a brand to be like, yeah, we've lost this battle, kind of thing, which is final. But yeah, they apparently have an untitled project on YouTube Red.
Fun,
cool. So
interesting.
As I said, I'm gonna try it out when it sometime in the first month it's out.
So other than Halo and Destiny for shooters, there's one more shooter that's on the radar for tomorrow. Overwatch beta is starting tomorrow. So
tomorrow being Tuesday,
Tuesday, yes, Tuesday. I'm hoping that I get in. I don't know if I'm going to spend a lot of time with it.
I could tell Brian was telling you already to wrap up this conversation. Like,
no, I'm trying to be excited about it.
Right.
Overwatch actually does look cool. I didn't get a chance to try it at the GameStop Expo, but it was fun watching people play it. But it's not something I'm personally going to touch, even being a huge fan of Blizzard. If it doesn't tie directly into a Blizzard franchise I already care about, I just don't touch it.
Why? You can play all your favorite Overwatch characters in Heroes of the Storm.
What's an Overwatch?
Oh, I don't care. I'm tired.
Overwatch.
No, I
didn't see a long time.
I expect they'll have 2 to 3 Overwatch characters premiere for Heroes at BlizzCon next week.
BlizzCon's already next week.
Yeah.
I guess it's the end of October. Well, holy crap! It's the end of October.
Yes.
Yep.
Ooh, I think I get the last piece of Rowan's Halloween costume today.
So, dang.
Brad leveled up.
There's a boat outside. That's what that is. We're still flooded.
Oh, okay.
So not really. I shouldn't joke. We actually we did lose a house, sort of, not a primary house. So, you've got something here about Rooster Teeth. Do you want to touch on that?
No. Yeah. Since you just brought it up, yeah. During their podcast, which is on just before ours, Gavin Free was apparently made the creative director of Rooster Teeth. So our congratulations to him. Haven't had a chance to chat with him. I'm curious what that is going to mean for his duties with Achievement Hunter and a lot of other stuff, but
it's something that Bernie's alluded to for quite some time, and there was a podcast where he said I think that one of these days I'd like Gavin to take my position, and
he's said that for a long time. Yeah. That he's wanted Gavin to take over for him. So I'm currently sending out emails trying to get an interview.
And everybody else.
As long as in that interview he squeals and acts like something's trying to kill him, I will be happy.
Sadly, I think Gavin's actually way more professional than any of us give him credit for.
He actually is. But he plays a character. He knows it, and that's the thing. He's incredibly smart, works incredibly hard, and just.
I think we should all be jealous of Gavin Free as far as his career goes.
Jealous of it. He will openly admit he is a lot of his stuff is luck for how he got his stuff, but. It's not like he doesn't work for it at the same time, too, so definitely congratulations to him.
No, my congratulations to him. I'd love to talk to him about stuff like that, but yeah, we'll see it. That's just something.
He's an inspiration to fanboys everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Before I completely turn the reins over to your storytelling, while we're on Rooster Teeth, I'm probably the only one who watched Ruby. Probably.
I still haven't finished Volume 2.
Finished Volume 2. I'll say Volume 3, it starts a little slow, but it's got a lot of symbolism as memorial to Monty.
That's why I want to get to it for that reason.
The entire credit sequence ends with a note for him, I think. But interestingly enough, I don't know, I can't remember what he sounds like offhand, but someone has already replaced Ren, and I don't know who it is. But it sounds similar enough that I'm not sure if he had voice recordings done already or not.
I think, didn't they have his brother come in and do...
I think it's his brother.
Okay, because it sounds very, very similar. And
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, it didn't say in the credits that who plays who. So.
I think that's what they were talking about.
Yeah, it's his brother. I
Yeah.
don't know how to pronounce his brother's name, but Neath is taking over the role.
Yeah. So it's Ruby. It's still good. It's just a slow start because I
think they wanted to ease us back into a Monty Ohm-less.
Yeah,
movie world.
they did, and it's got a weird Pokemon vibe to it with the whole Vital tournament thing. So
I think I'm gonna have to watch it sooner rather than later, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
My reason I stopped watching it was Charnel got busy with work, couldn't keep up with Volume 2 with me. And the problem is, whenever I start watching a show with Charnel, it's the same thing as playing a game with Charnel.
Once she stops, you're done?
Yeah, when she stops, I'm done. I lose, like, a bond forms. It's why I don't play World of Warcraft anymore, because I got too into playing with her. It's why I stopped playing Old Republic for a while there. Because once, like, this bond between us forms in a show, I don't know how to watch it or play it. I don't know how to ingest entertainment without her. I'm extremely codependent when it comes to that. And every other aspect of
codependent entertainment.
It's so
It's a
fucking...
thing.
It is. It's just a funny concept to think about.
But anyone who's ever been in a relationship that is and if you are a very entertainment-based individual, it's difficult. Like, I, to this day, have not seen a Star Wars film since Steven and my friendship ended, because I've never been able to go back to Star Wars, because, like, Clone Wars was so difficult for me to watch because I tied that to him. You know, we all have those things where you tie something intrinsically to another person.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, I was just... I know.
So,
Well, no, it's a thing, too. But at the same time, something like that, like, everybody's like, man, I want a girlfriend who just plays video games with me. And if you really enjoy video games and you enjoy progressing at your own pace, no, you don't.
Yeah, no, well, that's the thing is...
You
have
want
to
certain
find
video games. And there's some you give up, because some, like, they won't let you play until they're there, and you're like, oh. So, it really depends. But,
Well,
I mean, it's still
let's be
enjoyable.
clear, that is also different relationships. Not all relationships
It
are
is. It's
intrinsically
not all.
like that.
It's not all people, but
Yeah.
it's something that can happen.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Not all gaming relationships are, the two TVs, the two consoles sitting in the living room, may as well be on headset talking to each other relationships. They're not all gaming relationships are like that. There are different levels, different facets of it. But if you are an entertainment-heavy person, your mind is heavy entertainment, the bonds that form are shit that you don't realize. It's
well, because
fascinating.
watching. I think I've talked about this before. Like watching Hook, especially watching Hook with my dad. It's super emotional movie for me because like that's something we watched when I was growing up, and then even still, with all the themes in that movie, it's just like holy shit.
Babylon 5 with my dad to this day. He hasn't even rewatched the show maybe 5 years. I rewatch it every year pretty much. He still will call me every week with theories about the show, and I intrinsically tie the show to my relationship with him. When he dies, I don't think I won't be able to watch the show again.
The
possibly.
one show I haven't seen that I used to watch with my dad all the time, which thinking back on this, I don't know how we got away with it, but Xena Warrior Princess. Great show. But I'm not sure if it holds up because I haven't watched it since I was a kid.
That was my dad introduced me to. I used to watch 90210 with my dad, the original, when it first premiered.
Mm-hmm.
I was 3, to make clear. Which, my mom despised with fire passion. I did not see the early seasons of 90210 again until like when the new show premiered, watching with Charnel, and I'm like, oh, my childhood is dead. Also, this show is so PG, it's ridiculous. Why did people worry about it?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, we just went on
tangent alert.
Emotional tangent.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of emotional tangents.
So
More emotional tangents.
I think that covers all of our news. So Josh, tell us a story.
So I have 3 stories here.
Is this a choose your own adventure?
Yeah, well, not so much.
Okay.
So we got a return to form for Best Buy, which, last week Justin was, I believe, bitching that I haven't bitched about Best Buy in a while. And I swear to you, like 2 days, not maybe a day or two later,
You also
they fucked
swore you
over
wouldn't
my
shop
mother.
there again, so
Yeah. They,
Well, it wasn't him shopping there, though.
this is true.
Yeah, I've still boycotted. I still have not shopped there since November of last year, since just that week after Black Friday. But so, Back to the Future Complete Adventures was released on October 21st to coincide. I hate you so much, Brian, with Back to the Future Day. They released it, and Best Buy had a great deal. The retail price, I think, is like $100+. The cheapest place I could find it for the longest time was Amazon, which is still selling it for like $85. Which, I'm sorry, I already own the 25th anniversary edition. This comes with the animated series and a movie about Back to the Future. So I want it so badly, but not spend $85 on it. Best Buy was selling for $50. I called one of the stores right by my mother-in-law's, checked. They had one less copy than they could to actually hold it. So, like, that means like 7 copies or some shit like that. But they said, yeah, we've had these for like 2 days now. We've had to have an issue. You should have no problem. Call my mother-in-law. She said, yeah, I'll go buy it for you. She drives over there 45 minutes later because she's taking care of my nephew, which is what she does on weekdays. Gets there, they're sold out. Guy apologizes. It's actually a good relationship, kind of thing she's fine with. He calls the Arrowhead store, which is a 20-minute drive away. They have 5 copies in as well. They're going to hold one for her. They put her name on it. She gets over there. They sold it. They sold all the copies, including her copy with her name on it. The chick at the counter says, she asks, was my name on it? And the chick's like, yeah, it was. Well, why'd you sell it? Someone may have made a mistake. Pretty much not caring at all. She has to see the manager, and the manager's like, yeah, mistakes happen, not really much we could do about it. And she's like, yeah, I drove here in the middle of my day, 20 minutes. I was promised a held copy. He's like, well, I'll look into it and see if we could get you another one. He's like, yeah, there's one in New Mexico. I could give you the phone number for them. Maybe they'll ship you one. And she's like, excuse me? She's like, yeah, you could go do that. Here, I'll give you the numbers. Have a nice day. Bye. And he just walks away from her. Whoa. She tells me this story. Like, I've never heard Judy speechless before. Like, she could barely get through. She was so flabbergasted. I contacted their Twitter. Their Twitter people did not give a shit. Said, oh, we'll talk to their management on your behalf. And it's like, the management's who fucked this over. So I contacted their Facebook. Their Facebook people first tried to offer me a gift card. Because as Best Buy does. I'm like, no, I'm not shopping with you anymore. This is what you could do. You have one option here to rectify this and even consider the entire Seymour family not boycotting your store, in addition to me. Your option is to have someone personally call, whether from corporate or the manager of that store, personally call my mother-in-law and apologize to her for wasting her time. And they said, send us to her number. We'll have it done. So we'll see if this actually happens. But that, to me, is the only possible recompense they can, they can do.
I honestly wonder
on their doorstep.
If I would still be shopping at Best Buy if I didn't know somebody who worked there and watched out for me.
They have just some of the worst customer service. That's the thing is when I posted this, most people were just like, "You're surprised it's Best Buy," because everyone knows you might get a good deal from them, but their employees are absolutely awful in training. On average, there are the good ones, but on average, they're just awful. Their managers don't know anything. They don't care whatsoever about the customer. They know they're going under in the next 5 to 10 years, so why even really put the effort in?
I wonder if that's why they have the Gamers Club Unlocked thing right now. Because there's no way they're not losing money off that. I mean...
No, they have to be losing money now. If they're not losing money, then there's some weird backdoor deals going on.
Only thing I can figure is that they're making enough off of something else that they can cover their losses in the games department. But that's not how you're technically supposed to do it, even though it's still... legally, it all works out. But
exactly. All right, so story number 2, I titled Mistaken Identity Part 1, The Down Syndrome Baby Calling Bitch.
Oh.
So...
Grab some popcorn, kids.
Yeah, I like telling stories. I was actually not really planning on telling these, by the way, like as like a story time kind of thing. I just thought I would throw these out during a podcast at random points. but we didn't have a topic, so this works out well. So Charnel and I go out to breakfast, brunch, whatever the hell, at a restaurant over here called Encounter, and I see this older woman. I'm gonna guess late 60s, maybe maybe through mid 70s, kind of walking around. She's like eyeing my kid, and I'm like, okay, you know, old people love my kid. He's adorable. You know, typically, like every time I go to Trader Joe shopping with him, there's always at least one old couple comes up and is like, "Your kid's so adorable. Oh my God, I just love him." Wait, it is a him, right? And that happens every time. Which, for reference, asking if that's a boy or a girl, the only acceptable thing you can ever say to a stranger about their child, in my opinion. That is the only quote-unquote odd question you can really ask.
Or if you're Professor Oak.
Yes, in that sense as well. So,
Wow.
you know, we're chatting, we're hanging out with our friend Christina, and all of a sudden behind me, I swear to you, I feel a presence, and I just realized, holy crap, this woman is now standing behind me. And she's like, "Oh, your baby is so cute. He's so adorable. Does he have Down syndrome? Because he looks like he has Down syndrome." Now, I'm just going to say right here, a couple things. One, if my kid had Down syndrome, well, okay, if my kid had Down syndrome, you know what? That would be life. It's not a big, you know, it's a big deal, but it's not a big deal. I have no problem with people with Down syndrome for any, so just to be clear, like, I have no issues with this. But she comes over and says, "Does your baby have Down syndrome?" He looks like he has Down syndrome. We're also sensitive about Roran's head being larger. You know, he's hydrocephalus, and we do have worries that he may be developmentally disabled. So right there, it's like, okay, you just put my wife into a panic mode. Does he have Down syndrome? Wait, does he look like it? Does he? Like, she's freaking out in here. And, you know, she responds back with, no, he doesn't. And she's like, "Are you sure? Because he looks like he has Down syndrome." And I just go into my, like, I just go red. Like, my vision just goes completely red. Like, for starters, yes, we're sure. They test the chromosomes and stuff of your they genetically test your child when they're born. I know he does not have this thing. And then before I can say anything, she interjects with, "I just love, you know, it'd be okay if he did. You know, he looks like he does. I love the Down syndrome community. They're such great, trusting people. They're just so trusting, and they're just absolutely trusting."
So this is like almost a sitcom, like, old person.
Yes, this is not a real event. This is something out
Down syndrome with, is he gay? And then, like, that's like something you actually seen on the sitcom, and it's referring, it's like, "Oh, they're so nice," and I love them.
It's totally, like, I swear to you, when all was said and done, and everything calmed down, I'm chatting with my buddy Christina, who's there, and I'm like, "So we were just in a 90s sitcom, right? Like, this just fucking happened." Like, I couldn't believe this was happening. And she's also going to this thing about them being so trusting. Like, she mentioned 3 times. I'm like, "Do you want to rape my child? Like, what is going on here?" Like, that was seriously where my brain went the first time. You're talking about how trusting they are. It's like, what are you doing to these Down syndrome people?
Taking their money.
Exactly.
But no, you have more restraint than I would have, because I would have gone the complete opposite way. Like, "Wow, how were you able to see that my child had Down syndrome? I didn't even know that. Wow, you're so amazing. Thank you."
Well, yeah, you would have gone the sarcastic asshole thing. My friend, our film person, main film person of our side, Jim, probably would have just punched her in the face based on his reaction. My friend Ashley, it sounds like, would have drank her blood on the spot based on the reaction I got there.
Just gotta reply back, shut her up, like, "Yo, where'd you get your PhD from? You got one, right? I mean, you could tell this."
You know me, I since that event, I've come up with different things I could have said, and, like, some pretty hateful comments and stuff like that. You know, my main thing was to be like, "You know what? You look like a bitch. Are you a bitch? Because you look like a bitch."
I know a bunch of really nice bitches.
Yeah,
they're very trusting.
I regret not doing that. But that was, like, where my brain went initially. But my thing was seriously, like, I've been working on my anger management issues for a while now. I've been trying to calm that stuff down. I'm a father now, and Charnel doesn't like when I blow up with people in public and things like that. It's rarely happened, but she doesn't like when I'm, you know, with a waiter who's an asshole, even if they're just really, like, an absolute asshole. She just wants me to be quiet, you know, and stuff like that. So I decided to be quiet, and I'm like, maybe I'm overreacting to this, because both Charnel and Christina's faces weren't really angry or anything like that. So I'm like, maybe I'm overreacting. So I just decided to be quiet. And Charnel responds like, no, he doesn't have Down syndrome. She's like, "Oh, well, bless him." And she walks away, this woman. And of course my response is, "Okay, what the fuck just happened?" But that was my lovely Saturday event of my life. Still not the weirdest thing that happened on that Saturday, mind you. I'm going to get to that story in a second.
Nice. How could this get any more exciting or weird?
The second story, the last story is the best, in my opinion.
Is it also about roaring? Because
No, it's
do we need to edit it?
Break this with scripture from GameStop customer service.
oh, can we get to Justin's story? Because I think people need to be updated on how this is going with his. Is it Call of Duty, Metal Gear Solid?
I think we should just post the Twitter conversations to the main account.
I keep telling him just to let me post this shit.
I got them. I'll give you copies of them.
Yeah, give me copies of everything so I could just enlighten people to the plight of this. But essentially, Justin's been trying to get a specific code or something like that, and they keep emailing him back with the wrong name of the game.
Yeah, so it started off like, for one, like with Metal Gear Solid, I got the collector's edition. The code's supposed to come with like stuff for single player and online. I didn't see the online stuff yet. Now, for reference, I'm kind of in the wrong here because I actually found out it is one code, but they could have said that. I found out for Konami, it's actually one code, so I did have everything. You just have to go back and download it, which nothing tells you. Like, the GameStop people forget just like, here's your special code. It doesn't tell you which unlocks or anything like that or how to get it. It's just, here it is. So, I didn't know the stuff unlocked, but it's before all this and before I got in contact with Konami, who actually took care of me. And very professional, Konami is. Even though, you know, there are people they fired just on vacation or just went out for cigarettes. Or story they want to make up.
He's coming back.
He's coming back. He's not gone.
He's
so
resting.
He's resting his eyes and we're resting his pay. It's just...
He's not dead.
He still works for us.
Anywho, how did GameStop treat you?
I don't know. It's like
when?
It's just stupid. Like, so first I made it clear, like, this is not a pre-order code. It's like there's a code that's supposed to come with the collection edition. It's supposed to be packaged in it. I only got one code and only unlocked this because I didn't see other stuff yet. Granted, it actually did unlock later. Like, it wasn't ready at the time of Metal Gear Online going. Anyways, here we go. Dear Justin, I'm trying to think if I should shout out their names or not because these are like very generic, weird name. Well, weird, but generic-ish enough. I'll put the last name. There we go. Because the names add to this, I have to say. So let's go. Thank you for contacting GameStop. My name is Fabian. From GameStop Customer Service Department, I will be the specialist in charge of assisting you. I do apologize for delayed response to the email in regards to your Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain Collector's Edition codes. So far, so good. Not bad. Let's get to the next paragraph. We apologize that you did not receive the Call of Duty, Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain Collector's Edition with your order. Unfortunately, we're no longer able to provide this pre-order bonus as codes have expired. We will not sorry, I can't read. The sad thing is, like, it's not that, like, sir, this is actually how it's written, not punctuated or anything like that. So, if we not retrieve any more codes from the manufacturer, please contact the manufacturer for further assistance. Please note, due to all advertised limited quantities of bonus offers, GameStop cannot guarantee the offer will be able to be available at the time of purchase or reservation. Generally, bonus item offers are limited in supply, which I made specifically as not. So I emailed them, pretty much told them, like, I didn't say it was a pre-order bonus. I said specifically it's something you advertise on your box, on your site. It's supposed to be in the game. It's not there. It's not a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
And I pretty much told them, like, you either didn't read it, or you didn't comprehend it, or it's just a mixture of everything.
Yes.
So here's the next part. GameStop, from the GameStop scriptures, next email. Dear Justin, thank you for contacting GameStop. My name is Ruben, from GameStop Customer Service.
I want a sandwich.
See, that's what names do add to this. I'm sorry you have had an issue with your code. I understand this can be frustrating, and I apologize for any problem this may have caused you. At this time, the code that we provide was fine, and I apologize for the misunderstood about the codes. But the email we sent had both codes.
What?
That's not me stuttering. That's not me failing to read. That's exactly how it's written.
That's just so ridiculous. Like,
Unfortunately, we cannot fix the code or send another one for you. My advice would be that you should contact the manufacturer that in this case is Konami. That is Konami with a C. Conami.
It's just like, I'm so fascinated by this because, like, is nobody proofreading these emails at all?
And not to be, stereotypical, but this has to be outsourced. There's no way it's not.
And not to a good outsourcing company either.
The fun thing is like the spacing of these paragraphs too. Like it's the greeting. It's like 3 paragraph spaces down. Then that first paragraph, 3 more paragraph spaces down, and then these are separate paragraphs. There's one space. It's.
We'll tweet out the images of this in the next day or two, just so people can actually see what the hell, like how this actually looks. Because reading it's one thing, but hearing it read is one thing. Seeing it is a whole other thing. It's fascinating.
Mm-hmm. But let's finish this off. So in this case, is Konami. Sorry, Konami. In order for you to know what is really happening with the content of the game, that's it. That's all I got. GameStop, thank you for your customer service online. Your scholars, which is
Not saying much.
Brilliant. All right, our podcast is going long. I'll try to shorten my third story as much as possible.
Make
Get
it
through as
good.
quickly as possible. We got Mistaken Identity Part 2, the transgendered purple shirt fiasco.
oh, geez.
Wow.
I didn't have titles.
Yeah, I love the titles. I'm so happy about the titles. Anyways, so for people who don't know, purple is the color for autism walks and stuff like that. Saturday, why we went out to brunch was we were at this year's autism walk because my wife works with kids with autism. And I was wearing a purple shirt. I went to Trader Joe's sometime in the day. I'm still wearing the shirt. Wasn't really thinking about it. This guy says to me, this random guy just says to me, something about like, oh, so you're going with purple today? I'm like, I don't know you, kind of response. I'm like, yeah, it's purple shirt. He's like, hey, wherever you are in your transition, that's understandable. And I'm like, sorry, what? He's like, well, purple. Obviously you're transitioning one way or the other. I can't tell if you're a man or a woman, which way, but whichever way you're going, that's why you're wearing purple. I'm just like, the fuck is happening right now? Like this random guy, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no. I realize purple's not my color, doesn't go with my skin tone very well. Like that's my response. But I'm just wearing a purple shirt. He's like, hey, you know what? Whatever helps you suck more dick, that's on your business.
Whoa.
And I'm just like,
So before that point, okay, I can understand. Like maybe he was like, wow, maybe they're going through transition. That's great. But then that point, that's where it's like, okay, you were just being an asshole the entire time.
no, this guy was trolling me, if anything. But he makes this thing like, whatever. Hey, whatever makes you happy, whatever helps you suck more dick, that's fine with you. And I'm in my own head like, what the hell do I respond to this? And like I'm like saying, okay, Josh, don't say anything stupid, just walk away. And meanwhile, my mouth decides to say, hey, I can suck as much dick as I want. I don't need any help in that.
Wow.
And I just turned and walked away. And the cashier there was just laughing her ass off at this. And I just said, I'm like, I don't know why I said that.
Now, was this before or after Down syndrome baby calling bitch?
This was the end of the day.
Oh Lord, you did have quite the day.
That was the same day, end of the day. Yeah, no, that was the end of my day. I came home and told Charnel that story, and I'm just like, yeah, I think I have to tell the story in the podcast. She's like, yeah, you should tell the story in the podcast. I'm like, I don't know. I'll come up with some exaggerations for it. She's like, don't exaggerate. You can exaggerate any stories you want. Don't exaggerate this story. This does not need exaggeration. This is good the way it is.
I don't get people sometimes.
People are
It's
so fucking weird.
They are.
Like I could understand that going down between like us just screwing around, but like a complete stranger?
Yeah, like busting someone's chops and trying to make a joke that's honestly probably way too offensive, kind of thing. But you make the joke anyways. That shit happens. But like a complete stranger, my then thought to Charnel's, I'm like, do I look like I'm transitioning one way or the other? And she's like, if you shave, you kind of do look like a woman. But... so I'm just like, okay. Whatever. Just weird moments. Brad, Calgon, take us.
Josh, that's where you like take it. It's like, so, are you into that?
I made the accidental dick joke. I was already well past the point of no return in my book. I just had to wander off.
That's true.
So
You have been tested emotionally that day. I can understand you can't take anymore.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do at that point. I was like, my day was done. I'm like, I have stories for the
should have looked
podcast.
right at him in the eye and said, "Swiggity, swoogity."
Just walk by and said, "Swiggity swooty, I'm coming for that booty." All right, let's end this because my dinner is like I smell it. It's making me so
Moist.
There's things going on in parts of my
So,
body.
what is the video of the week, Josh?
So video of the week is going to again be Battlefront Drop Zone, the one that was supposed to come out last week. Ran into a lovely little problem where every time I uploaded it to YouTube, tried different names, tried different file names, tried re-exporting, tried ripping off chunks. It was 22 minutes every single time. Couldn't figure out why I was popping out 22 minutes instead of, the longer thing. This also happened with our podcast as well. When I put it out on Friday, both kept popping up 22 minutes, and I figured out on Friday in both cases. I don't know what happened, but I used to export from Premiere straight to our Dropbox. It was easier than exporting to my computer and dragging it to the Dropbox. Never had an issue before. For some reason now, it caused both things. Like, for instance, the podcast video came out to be 300 megabytes. I just never noticed. I exported it directly on my computer, then moved it, and it was 3.6 gigs.
Woo!
So, obviously, there was... the file wasn't being properly exported. Even if it looked fine on my computer, YouTube it wasn't getting the proper information. I got it exported finally after many attempts. Yesterday on Sunday. So it will go out on Tuesday. It looks good on YouTube. It looks fine. I'm sorry for anyone who liked our content that we've had all these fuck ups, but we should now be back on track. Yay! So youtube.com/ConCalPod.
ConCalPod. You can also find us at a multitude of other places. You can find our website at ConstantlyCalibrating.com. You can find us on Twitter at ConCalPod. You can find us individually at Brian McDaniel _ for Brian, at Bear Punch for Josh, at The Aging Gamer for Justin, or at B_Cogs for myself. Also, be sure to like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/ConstantlyCalibrating. And as always, we're here every week. Twitch.tv/ConstantlyCalibrating.
Ooh.
Brian, sing me a song.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
Okay, stop singing me a song.
You through my
If we ever do an AMA, what song would we sing as a quartet? Has to be one of the songs, the questions.
What would we sing as a quartet?
We can't answer it now. We don't have an AMA yet.
No, I know what we would sing. It's that song, Enormous Penis. I take a look at my enormous penis, and my troubles all melt away.
What?
Have you never heard?
No.
I've heard that before.
Oh my gosh! I
Generational
love that to
gap.
all of you. It's beautiful. It's actually
next week.
So what's our song this week before we keep going any further?
Our song this week is a metal cover of On the Horizon from Assassin's Creed Black Flag by Mr. McNoggin. So that'll start playing pretty shortly. It's a nice, fun metal tune. Usually we're a little bit more electronic, but metal seemed a little bit more fitting this week. So the cacophony of sound.
Alrighty. So, as always, we thank you for listening to us. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe wherever you may feel the need or ability. And we will see you next week with hopefully tales of maybe some Halloween shenanigans and
Tales of interest.
Definitely a little bit of coverage on Halo 5. We'll have something to say.
I'm trying to get into it right now, and it's still not letting me.
It says pre-ordered. So until next week.
Like we click, it's like we're loading. It's like, oh, not quite yet.
Until next week, I'm going to finish this fucking fight.
I figured you could sign off as well.
Bye.